cancer. When I started my research, I would have thought clearly only a quack would link sugar to cancer, like Final Solution, Napoleon, cancer. It's interesting, when you go back into the history and you look at the emergence of these Western diseases in the history, cancer was one of the diseases that emerges in these populations. Cancer was always there, and you could find cancer in wild animals, but as populations become westernized, cancer rates tend to explode also. The problem is Western doctor rates also tend to explode. So you have to be able to disassociate. It could possibly be that cancer rates are growing because there are more doctors there to diagnose cancer, and in traditional populations they knew enough not to go to doctors if they had cancer. But cancer is linked to metabolic syndrome. Obesity is associated with cancer, so the fatter you are, the more likely you are to get cancer. Diabetes is associated with cancer, type 2 diabetes particularly. It's known now to be linked to both insulin and an insulin-like hormone called insulin-like growth factor. And this is all part of a new there's a whole kind of slow paradigm and shift in cancer to look at it not as a genetic disease, but a metabolic disease. So cells change their metabolism when they become malignant and start growing out of control, and they start metabolizing blood sugar at massive rates, and they upregulate insulin receptors on their membranes so they could suck in sugar, and they upregulate insulin-like growth factor. And there's a series of very good people who now believe that basically insulin resistance drives cancers through a series of mechanisms. So insulin resistance makes insulin levels go up, which makes blood levels of this insulin-like growth factor binding protein go down, which makes insulin-like growth factor itself become more bioavailable, which drives metastasis into target cells, and you end up with tumor development. And so the question is, whatever causes insulin resistance, whatever that question mark is going to increase cancer prevalence and cancer rates.